about a report that you've got in your pack, which is called Waiting for Change. And this is a report, sorry, Sharif, do you want to come up and stand next to me? Sorry, I forgot that. This is a report that originated with Sharif Rahman, who didn't find this to speak to you, but he's a researcher and economist, and who approached us and said to us that he had concerns about the informal economy in Brick Lane. And actually there was a lot of exploitation going on, people being trapped in poverty. And so we sort of commissioned Sharif to do some research, but immediately got in touch with Community Links, who've been working on this for over 10 years and are the absolute experts in the field. Because Toynbee Hall is situated right next to Brick Lane. We always get our lunches from there, fantastic samosas. And anyway, so Sharif worked with Community Links to put together this research project. And we thought anecdotally that there were a lot of people working for way below the minimum wage, very long hours, and being exploited in the restaurants of Brick Lane, run by some very wealthy businessmen. And Sharif literally trudged up and down Brick Lane, often in the pouring rain, talking to waiters and asking them a set of questions about their experience. And the findings were that we surveyed 16 of the 45 restaurants in Brick Lane, and I probably surveyed as many as a customer, but we surveyed them for the informal economy. And we found out that in 15 of those 16, the workers that we spoke to were being paid an average of around £3 to £4 an hour. They were nearly all working 65 hours a week. The average pay was £210 a week for 65 hours, 6 days a week, and they worked a split shift session. So they were working kind of 12 to 3 to 4, and then 6 or 7 to 11 or midnight, 6 days a week. They weren't paying any tax, they weren't paying national insurance in most cases, and they didn't have a contract. They generally don't have holiday. And most of them have been there a long time. They were stuck. They've been there most of them have been there over 5 years. Over 50% have been in the job over 5 years. They were older than we thought they'd be. They were the average age was about 35. It's all in this very easy to read report. And the majority of them wanted to get out. Their aspirations was to do something else, to set up their own restaurant, to get a better job. One wanted to be a teacher, another one wanted to write. They had all sorts of aspirations, but they were completely stuck because their English is very poor, and they don't have the skills or qualifications to get on. And of course, if you're working 6 days a week, split shifts, one guy said, I spend the 7th day asleep because I'm so exhausted. You can't get to English classes, you just can't access any training or skills. But additionally, they were also sending money home. So the majority were sending an average of around £250, and over 75% were sending around £250 a month back to Bangladesh. Now the average of people in Bangladesh often earn only £40 or £50 a month. So it was a huge amount to be sending home, and for them it was a quarter of their income. The majority, they're very open with us. 3 or 4 of the ones we spoke to said they were on benefits, but the vast majority weren't on benefits. And also, all the people we spoke to were legal. They were legally here, had come on visa schemes or other ways of being here. They weren't illegals. So the great thing about the partnership with Community Links, it's helped us put together a partnership group, which is this research is February 2009, so it's just released, it's just come out. So do spread it around and read it and pass it on to people that you know, because it is quite new and quite interesting, I think. But we've managed to put together a partnership group that's meeting for the first time on Friday of this week. And what's great about that is we've got the Bangladeshi Caterers Association coming, the Bangladeshi Chamber of Commerce, and the Caterers Association are really aware there's a problem about people being stuck, and they're interested in one of the things that we've suggested. They want to set up a curry university in London to give people skills and let people move up through the industry because there's no progression. They're less keen about our concerns on the minimum wage, but we'll discuss that with them on Friday. But we've got all sorts of people coming. The council, the TUC are coming. We've got people with links with DFID and the World Bank. We've got local authority coming. So it's really going to try and find some interventions to help these people get out of the informal economy and make a real difference. So thanks very much.